Ken Starr has passed away. The former lawyer and judge suffered complications from surgery. He was 76 years old. Starr led the Whitewater investigation against former President Bill Clinton. The investigation later expanded to focus on President Clinton's affair with White House intern Monica Lewinsky, which led to his impeachment and severely impacted her life, if we want to get real. Following the news of Starr's death, Lewinsky actually tweeted, quote, "My thoughts about Ken Starr bring up complicated feelings, but I imagine it's a painful loss for those who love him." So this is almost a continuation of our last segment. What do you think about Monica's response, and how are you supposed to handle the death of someone who you may not have liked very much? We just had a really thoughtful conversation with you, Erica, in the previous block. I didn't get to hear your thoughts.
About this, or?
How I think it all kind of, it's under one umbrella.
Right. So I think she handled it the way you're supposed to, right? She was respectful. She said what she needed to say. Listen, let's break it down. I don't really care that this man has passed away because we had some history. However, I see how his family is grieving. It's like when Lou Pearlman passed away. Do you think all those boy bands were like,
right?
You know, they're like, hey, you did me dirty. However, I know your family's grieving. So if you put that, however, it's like the Ricky Bobby, like, you know what I mean? With all due respect, as long as you say that, you can say whatever you want.
Right. Yeah.
Wow, no one laughed at that joke, huh?
I
I was trying to lighten it up a little bit. Let's talk about doom and gloom.
I looked at it, I feel like, first of all, her response was classy.
But she still got pushback. Why do you think there's pushback when you thoughtfully try to have a complicated, nuanced conversation about, like we did in the previous segment, even though you and Steph handled it wonderfully, I'm sure there's still going to be pushback. Why do you think there's always pushback?
I think because Monica Lewinsky, at 24 years old, which I think is when this happened, was put to represent the homewrecker in everybody's life. And that's why she still gets vitriol decades later. This was a young person. She was a woman, but a young woman. If the president asked me to do anything right now, I would do it. Much less at 20. Can you imagine the president is pressuring? I mean, the president wasn't a spot to be lampooned then. This was the president. The presidency really had a lot of prestige. And the fact that she was laid out bare in front of the public to be made fun of over and over on late night and everywhere else, Erica, I don't know if I could have had a response like that. Shout out to her.
Yeah, I don't think she needed to have a response, but no one was going to allow this day to pass without asking her thoughts, only to make sure that whatever her thoughts were going to be the wrong ones in everyone's eyes. Not everyone's death has to be mourned publicly at all, especially not someone who has been a hindrance in your life. You know, that's for some people. I mean, you think of McCready, who I'm glad, Jeanette McCready. I'm glad my mother is dead.
Right.
That is a very real sentiment for a lot of people. For some people, the death of certain people also means the death of their trauma. So that's okay. And I don't think that we need to make someone a deity just because they've passed away. And that's with all due respect to the dead, as the daughter of a mortician.
Right. Well said.
Well said.